Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a ranked Northern Realms deck for you guys, and that is the Kaedweni Trebuchet deck. And this deck is a really interesting strategy. It was actually popularized by Swim, and the way this deck works is we have our Kaedweni Sergeants, and when we play these, they boost by 1 the units. This unit, so itself, and all loyal units with the same power in your hand, deck, or on your side of the board. So when you play this, it boosts itself and then also all other 3s and makes them all 4s. And then if you play another one, because they've all become 4s, they then become 5s. You play another one because they're 5s, they then become 6s. So you can see, you can keep buffing up your units. And you might be saying to me, well, we've not got that many 3s in this deck. We've got the Kaedweni Sergeants, we've got the Temerian Infantrymen, and we've got Death Mold, so not that many 3s. But with a little bit of trickery from Operator, we can actually make our 2s into 3s. Basically we can make it so that our Reaver Scouts and our Trebuchets are also buffed when we play our Kaedwenis. So what we're going to do is we'll use Full Test, and when you play him, he boosts all loyal units and loyal bronze and silver units in your hand and deck by 1. So everyone gets buffed by 1 that's loyal, bronze, or silver. So all of these guys become 3s, these guys become 4s, right? So we've got some 4-strength Kaedweni Sergeants. Then what we can do is we can use an Operator, choose a bronze unit in your hand and create a base copy of it in both players' hands. So we use that on the Kaedweni Sergeant, and we turn the Kaedweni Sergeant that is a 4, we make a copy, but it's a base level copy, so we make another 3-strength Kaedweni Sergeant. So at this point, all of our 2s have been buffed up to 3s, and we then have a 3-strength Kaedweni Sergeant in hand that we made with Operator. So we can then use that one to buff the Reaver Scouts and Trebuchets further, so they're all 4s, which is the same strength as the remaining Kaedweni Sergeants, and then from there we can basically just keep buffing everything. It'll all become clear when we actually go into a deck and play the game. Now, in terms of our gold cards, I'm running Igni. I think Igni is just generally a really strong card, fits into any deck. Destroy all the highest units on the opposite row if that row totals 20 or more power. We have Regis Higher Vampire. Deploy, look at 3 random bronze units from your opponent's deck, consume 1 and shuffle the others back. This can be useful for removing boosted units from the graveyard, and also it's quite a big power swing usually. We have Philippa Aleheart. Deploy, damage an enemy by 5, then damage random enemies by 4, 3, 2, and 1. The same enemy cannot be damaged twice in a row, so you can use this when they have 2 or more units and basically bounce the damage between the units, and it's quite good for removal. And then we have Renew, which will allow us to replay any one of these or a gold card that our opponents played, which is just a generally strong gold card to have. Then in terms of our silver cards, we've got Roach. Whenever you play a gold unit from your hand, play Roach from your deck on a random row. And Roach, once the Kaedweni start to trigger, she'll start getting buffed up as well. So then we'll have a buffed up Roach. Similarly, we have Death Mold, who's the 3-strength, so he's, same as the Kaedwenis, and he's going to be getting buffed up by the Kaedwenis. And when we play him, we can spawn Rain, Clear Skies, or Alzur's Thunder, which is really nice. Then, in order to guarantee the draw of our Operator, we've got Reinforcements. Play a bronze or silver unit from your deck, shuffle the others back, so we can target draw Operator. Alternatively, Alza's Double Cross. Strengthen one of the highest units, bronze or silver units in your deck. Our highest unit is Operator by 2, and then play it. So we can also use this to get Operator out, so we can really, guarantee this play. We have Dimmeritian Bomb. Choose 3 adjacent units and reset them. If they are gold, demote them first. So this is good for just resetting units that are buffed up by your opponent. And we have Dimmeritian Shackles. Choose a unit, can be gold, and toggle its lock. If it's gold, demote it first. So we can use this to stop something from triggering. Then we have our Reaver Scouts. Deploy, choose a different bronze ally, and play a copy of it from your deck. So we can use this to basically draw our Kaedweni Sergeants out of the deck by using Reaver Scouts to pull them out. The other unit that we can pull out of our deck with these is our Trebuchets. Deploy, damage all units on a row on your opponent's side by 2. Fresh crew, increase the damage by 1. So if you place a Trebuchet next to a crewman, such as a Kaedweni Sergeant, it will do an extra damage to every unit on the row. So rather than just hitting for 2, it's going to be hitting for 3 if it's next to 1, and if it's in between 2, then it will hit for 4. So that's an option. We also then have our 2 Blue Stripe Scouts, which are also crewmen, and when we play these, they clear weather from the row on your side, so we can use these as weather counters. So that's the deck. If you like this deck, or you like the content that I make, do hit that thumbs up button, guys. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into a ranked game with this deck.
I forgive you. This time. Onward! Attack!
Okay, so we're up against John Calvé, and this can be a little bit awkward because our deck is quite susceptible to rot tossers, because what we're going to be doing is obviously buffing a lot of units. In terms of our mulligan here, we want to get rid of Roach, obviously. And if we end up with more than 1 Temerian Infantryman, we're going to want to get rid of that as well. We've got Trebuchets, we've got a couple of Kaedwenis, a couple of Reaver Scouts is good. Renew, Dimmeritian Bomb, Alzur's Double Cross. So I think what I'm going to mulligan here is potentially the Renew, because we don't have any other gold cards. So, you know, having this in hand isn't that useful when we don't have other gold cards. Oh, this is an awkward draw. We've basically got loads of bronzes. I'm not going to do another mulligan because I don't want to risk drawing a Temerian infantryman. But we do have everything we need to play our combo. So I'll try and showcase that for you guys in this turn. Alright, what are you going to play? Okay, so this is a spies deck. Okay, so full test is coming out. We're likely to see some rot tosses, unfortunately. And from this, everyone gets buffed, as you can see. And then what we can do is we play Alzur's double cross. And that'll pull Operator.
Your Excellency, I'm falling behind.
We should actually be placing things on the same row as the Emissary, because he would have protected them. So we'll play Alzur's double cross. And there's our Operator. So we'll pop him out on the middle row. And we'll give him a copy of our Kaedweni Sergeant. So we both have a Kaedweni Sergeant. And you can see now we have a 3-strength Kaedweni Sergeant, which has the same amount of strength as both of our Reaver Scouts and our Trebuchets.
Please wait, Your Excellency.
And what that means is that when we play this Kaedweni Sergeant, which we're going to have to do on this middle row to protect our cow carcass, you can see that all of our 3s just got buffed up to 4s now. So now we have all of these 4s, which is really nice, because then if I play another Kaedweni Sergeant, that's going to start buffing, you know, the rest of my Trebuchets. It's going to be buffing Roach. It's going to be buffing the Temerian infantrymen. You know, we're going to see a lot of buffed units here. The only thing, like I say, we have to be careful of is these rot tossers, because if you stack a row too highly, then he can throw it out and basically kill everything on that row. Unfortunately, that means we're going to lose Operator here, because that should trigger. Oh no, we get another turn. Well, that's fortunate. So I think what we'll do then is we'll pop out another Kaedweni just to protect the Operator. And you can see everyone just got buffed there. We sacrificed that, but everyone's just become a 5, which is really nice. He's on 27, we're on 19. But we can pull 15 out with our Temerian infantryman, which is a pretty good play. There's the rot tosser. And you can see he really wants to kill my my Operator. So I think what we'll do then is play our last Kaedweni here in the middle. That'll buff everything out. Unfortunately, we're sacrificing these guys to, you know, the cow carcasses, but that's kind of okay, because then what we can do is start to play our trebuchets out. Well, I've made a little bit of a misplay, because what I probably should have done is put this on a different row, because then I could have played the Reaver Scout on that row and duplicated it. As it is, like, basically I should have played Kaedweni on the back row and played the Reaver Scout on the middle row, and that way the cow carcass would have killed the Reaver Scout, and I could have used the Reaver Scout to pull another Kaedweni Sergeant. Cantarella. Okay. So the question is, do I want to take another 6 damage in order to pull a Kaedweni? So what I could do is play the Reaver Scout, pull an extra Kaedweni, but then I'd kind of lose them, so I think what we'll do is we'll just pop this in the back row for now. And we'll hit the rot tossers. And we lose the Kaedweni. It means that we have to hopefully draw another one rather than pulling out with the Reaver Scout, but, you know, that's okay. We can still play a Reaver Scout and pull a second Trebuchet and start to basically hit these, the rot tossers some more with the extra damage.
Your words mean nothing now.
Tremors was a nice pull. Tremors was definitely a nice pull, but again,
You one of us or
we'll
not?
pull this out, put this in the back row, hit this row for 6. And you can see we've actually caught up with him. He's got this 18 strength card, but we can actually always reset it. So I'm not really too worried here. There's Roach. Let me see, 39. I want to hold off on Temerian infantryman for a later round, I think. So what I'm going to do for now is play the Blue Stripe Scout. And do that. And basically that'll give us the edge. And if he passes, you know, he's going to have 2 cards on us, which is nice. But, I mean, we do have Temerian infantrymen, so we can play them and just pass.
I killed for less.
I definitely think he's trying to, you know, draw cards out of me. We'll just hit the back row. Get rid of those. And there's the pass. So he's going to get the Siri back, which means we'll be at a 2-card disadvantage. But because I have Temerian foot soldiers in hand, or infantrymen, I'm not too worried about it, because I can just throw them out for 18 points. Which is a nice option. What are we going to draw? Renew. Okay, he has played a gold card, but I don't think it went to his graveyard. I'm going to get rid of a Reaver Scout. I definitely do not need that. A Regis. Okay, so we can use Regis to actually pull out our... we can use Regis to pull out our Roach here. And that would actually be a pretty nice play, to be honest. So let's do that. So this should summon Roach. We're going to eat... I think I'm going to eat the Rot Tosser. I just don't want him to be Rot Tossering us. Imperial Brigades are nice, but I'm assuming he's going to start to run out of spy units. So there's 18 points on the board, which is going to be tough for him to catch. If we played Temerian Infantrymen, that would be another 18 points, which would put us in a really nice spot. Because obviously this is a big tempo play. Though he's made one in return and forced us to draw an infantryman, which we didn't want. This is annoying because it does mean that, you know, I'm not going to get the play that I want. But what I could do on the next turn is actually renew and take his Tibor. So let's do that. And we'll just pass for now. I don't want to hold both of these in hand. I was going to get rid of the Reaver Scout. Because that's obviously, we've got nothing to pull with that. But unfortunately not to be. Because I'm going to have to get rid of this Temerian Infantryman instead. If I draw another one, I'm actually going to just commit Honorable Seppuku here. So we'll get rid of this guy. And we got another Reaver Scout. It's awkward. It's awkward for sure. But they're still worth 6 points, you know. They're not, like, completely terrible is the thing. So that's worth being aware of. There's Jochem. We can actually reset a Seer, so I'm not too worried about that. So he's going to put cards back into the decks, basically. I'm assuming he's going to put his Roach back into the deck. That's what I would expect to see here. Come on, you can do it. Pick Roach. That's his Roach, and that's my Roach. And what else are you putting back in? Cool. So now I think what we'll do is we'll pop out the Renew. Oh look, Tibor. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Because that is a big tempo play. I mean, is it as much of a tempo play as Ridges? Ridges, we gave him 6, so we got 17 from this, which isn't too bad. Not too bad at all. So I'm just going to stall out and play my Reaver Scouts. Obviously I have nothing that I can pull with these, so I may as well just play them now. And at the moment we can remove 2 points from here. What's her base strength? Her base strength is... Oh, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 10, so we can take 10 points off there. Let's play our Reaver Scout. I'm just kind of delaying my Temerian Infantryman, just in case.
A highly curious case.
The problem is if I put them all in this row, then I'm very ignoble. And I don't want to be ignoble. But if I put them in the back row and he throws out a Rot Tosser, then that's a problem too. We can actually igni the 20 strength this year, now that I think about it. So let's do that. Here's Igni. And we'll take 20 points off you. And then we can reset the 2-8, so we can do 4 damage at the moment with our Dimmeritium Bomb.
A highly curious case.
I'm guessing I'm going to get Trebucheted. Oh, Emissaried.
Your humble servant.
What did you get? He's only got 1 card left.
Discipline. That is what you
And honestly, we can just reset all 3 of these now, so let's do that. So that was what? 10 points, I think? So he's got to catch my 55. I mean, he might catch it. Kahia's not a bad card because you can chain cards out. Letho's going to absorb a bunch of stuff. And if he's got Dimmeritium Bomb, he can reset, like, he can then reset the absorbs that he gets, or he could just have 7. It's 20 points at the moment. So he's put it on his own side and just protected his own cards. 46. Okay, so he's got to get 10 with this last card. What's it going to be? Oh, look at that. It was not to be, unfortunately, for our friend here with the Nilfgaard deck. 2 points. 2 points. Well, actually 3, because otherwise it would have been a draw. But that's the kind of gist of this deck here. I'll jump into another game and I'll showcase this deck in action for you guys one more time.
You shall die, world.
crush those vermin.
Okay, so we're up against Eridan, which means Wild Hunt. I'm going to be looking to hold on to weather counters, basically. We obviously have our Blue Stripe Scout. We'll get rid of one of the Temerian Infantrymen because we've got a couple here. We've got reinforcements and Alza's Double Cross. Alza's Double Cross we can then use actually to draw, or we can use reinforcements to target draw once we use Alza's Double Cross to pull our Reaper Hunter. And actually, all in all, I'm actually very happy with this starting hand. I'm just going to, I think, leave it at this. We have, you know, more or less everything that we need to get our combo going, which is nice. And we also have targeted draw for weather counters, for example. So that's also really nice. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so again, we'll open with full test. So pop him down. 1 full test, and buff up our units. Then we can use Alza's double cross to pull our operator. Once operator is out, you know, we can then duplicate our Kaedweni Sergeant. Once we've duplicated our Kaedweni Sergeant, we can use the Reaver Scout to start pulling Kaedweni Sergeants from the deck. And we have some options, basically, which is nice. Okay, so Wild Hunt Riders, that's fine. Alzer's double cross into Operator, into Kaedweni Sergeant, and now we both have one of those. And then we'll play him out and we'll buff up our Trebuchet and Reaver Scout to 4 strength.
We know the mysteries of time and space, all of them.
So what we can do actually potentially here is we can use Philippa to try and kill one of his Wild Hunt Riders. I think this is actually a good time to do it. The problem is it means we'll pull Roach at 4 strength rather than at more strength, but ultimately I think this is a worthwhile endeavor. Because by killing the Wild Hunt Rider you stop them from getting the trio, and the trio effect for Wild Hunt Riders is quite frustrating. The other thing we've done here is actually we've given ourselves quite a healthy lead in terms of points, which is nice. And you see, Roach did get 1 point from the full test as well, so that's good. And there's the pass. Yeah, I kind of expected it. He will keep the 2 going into the next round, but you know that's fine for us. And now we have Philippa in the graveyard, which means we can then pull her with Renew, should we want to. And he can obviously duplicate his Wild Hunt Rider with an Eredin. What did we just draw here? Shackles, Reinforcements, Trebuchet, Reaver Scout, Kaedweni, Infantryman. This is actually really nice. I don't want to really mulligan anything because I don't want to risk pulling a Temerian, to be honest. Temerian Infantryman, so let's just leave it at this. It does mean that we have a lot of gold cards in our deck, which we haven't been looking for, but I think we have lots of good cards in here to start, you know, getting the ball rolling, so let's do that. We'll pop our Kaedweni out here in the back row. And you can see there everyone then got buffed, which is nice. What have you got? Come on, what have you got? Eredin. This guy is running more than 25 cards in his deck. Because he has 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. He's got a few cards in his deck, you guys. So we can actually kill these with a Harpy. I'm going to pop out our Reaver Scout and pull a second Sergeant. And I'm actually going to pop him next to this one. Because with this little pocket of 2 Sergeants, if I pop a Trebuchet in between, then I'll do 4 damage with my Trebuchet, basically, rather than 2, which is nice. And we'll just decide when we want to play that out, basically. Alright, come on, Eredin, show me what you got. There's some Frost. And this isn't too bad, actually, because we can just straight clear the Frost with our Kaedweni Sergeant. And in doing that, we've basically put another crewman down, so we can then put our Trebuchets in between these 2. And it is stacking a row, which is, I guess, a little bit risky. But at the same time, it's a really nice setup for the Trebuchets to then deal, you know, plenty of damage. Come on, play more Harpies. Ekamara, what are you going to eat? The egg, I guess. Oh, that works for us, because then what we'll do is we'll pop our Trebuchet out in between our 2 Kaedwenis and hit this row. And you can see there, we did a decent amount of damage. And honestly, we could try and 2-0 him at this point. Like, I think we have a lot of points in hand. I mean, the one thing that might be worth doing is just waiting and seeing, you know, kind of what he plays. And we can save our Temerian Infantrymen for the final round, basically, because by saving them, what we're going to end up doing is having like an 18-point play, basically. The thing with the Kaedweni also this round is these 2 now won't get buffed because they were hit by weather, so we're perhaps better to play this Kaedweni Sergeant sooner rather than later so that we get the benefit of it. There's a second Frost, that's going on the back row. But we can actually reinforcements out a blue stripe Scout, for example, and that would probably work. Alternatively, we can get Death Mauls, but I think just taking the Blue Stripe Scout's probably a better call. So you are here. We'll take you and we'll pop you over at this end.
Regroup.
And clear off the row, and there we go. So no frost for you. And he's pulled 2 frost out of his deck, so I'm not sure how much weather he's going to have in hand anymore. The other thing we can always do is renew Philippa and pull her back out. And we've got damage for a row with the Trebuchet. So we're in a, I would say, a pretty tidy spot here. In terms of what we can do. I'll probably put the Kaedweni on the middle row in case I choose to play the Temerian Infantryman in the back row. That's a brave girl. I think this is a fairly new player. Unfortunately, you guys, I haven't had a lot of chance to like grind out ranked. So in terms of where I am at ranked, I haven't had a big chance to kind of grind it out, which means that the opponents that I'm getting when I do play ranked are, I would say, relatively less competitive than you would expect to face, unfortunately. What's he going to go for?
Resistance is futile.
That's an interesting choice. So now this row is a good target for our Trebuchet, so we'll slot you in there. And we'll hit that row. And we did 10 damage there, which is pretty nice. And we still have our Philippa and our Temerian Foot Soldiers is the thing. So I think we're still in a good position. Philippa is worth quite a bit of damage. Temerian Foot Soldiers 18. The thing is, Dimeritian Bomb isn't that useful, and Shackles isn't that useful. Although we can Shackles the Old Spear Tip before he transforms, so let's just do that. Basically, Old Spear Tip, what he would do there is he'd transform and damage all of these units, and because I don't want him to do that, I feel like that's a good play there. The question is with Philippa, who does, what, 10 damage, I think? Let me think. 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 16 there and 18 here, so we've got 16 and 18. So quite a few points. 34 points in hand. The question is, does he have 34 points in 5 cards? That's a Kaedweni with 3, so that's going to buff him.
I killed for less.
I think we'll go for the Philippa this turn. I mean, I guess we could have taken the Geralt, for example, but this isn't a bad choice. We can hit the Ekamara as our first shot, and in hitting that, what we'll do is kill it. We'll do some more damage, and we're now 11 points ahead of him with a Temerian Foot Soldier for the last round. The risk I have here is that I draw a Temerian Infantryman, and if I draw a Temerian Infantryman, you know, that's going to be kind of annoying. He'd have to play one more card if he wants to catch us in points. I think we'll just pass for here and hope that we don't draw a Temerian Infantryman on the final round, because the Dimeritian Bomb isn't really, you know, huge value for us here, so I would much rather kind of mulligan it. So I've got to hope that of our 9 cards we don't draw we don't draw a Temerian Infantryman, and if we do, we mulligan it and get something else. And there's the play. So he's got 2 cards, I've got 2 cards going into the final round. But this guy's worth 18, you know, so I've got a decent, I think I've got a decent amount of strength and I have a good chance to win this round. Okay. And it wasn't a Temerian Foot Soldier, but if I mulligan this Dimeritian Bomb and get a Temerian Foot Soldier, I'm going to be so salty. Oh, look at this. This is a fantastic draw. So we'll definitely open with the Kaedweni, which is going to buff the Trebuchet and all of my Temerian Infantrymen. And you can see here, we didn't really get that many gold cards, and it still worked out pretty good. So out comes the Kaedweni. We'll put him in the back row, I guess. So that's going to buff my Trebuchet and my Temerian Infantrymen, so they're now all 7s. What that does mean is they're a risk for Igni, because if you play 3 7s in a row, obviously that's 21 points, and that could be problematic. So instead of playing them now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Trebuchet and hit the Archgriffin, like so, just in case this card is Igni. I don't think it is, but, you know, just in case do, it's going to become a 7. And out come our Temerian Infantry. And game is ours. So you can see the kind of gist of this deck. It is, you know, at risk of things like Igni when you have the rows stacked with all units of the same strength. But because you can choose where to place all of the units in terms of their rows, that's something that you can counter. The other thing is, obviously, like I say, Igni can be a little bit of a problem. But I think the deck is consistent enough with the way that you can pull Operator. And you can get a decent amount of points whilst also having cards that do other things, like dealing damage, for example. So I think they're really nice in that regard. Oh, we got a keg. Seems good. And getting close to a rank up now. I do need to sit down and grind some ranked for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the deck in the comments below. If you like the deck, hit that thumbs up button. And let me know what kind of content you want to see on the channel, whether that be Gwent or other games. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.